Typical Emil. It wouldn't be
No, usually he lags out.
Well, it wouldn't be a tournament cast if he didn't DC. My love goes out to Emil. Of course, he's a badass. Can someone tell Emil he can feel free to restream our stream if he can't get a remake? If someone could go to the stream and do that, that would be very much appreciated. He's a friend of ours. But, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last match today. There are no more matches after this. This is the end of Group C. I'm Rifkin, and it's been a pleasure casting for you all. Joined to me today, of course, we started off the day with Zeph. She had to go to sleep, and Penguin took over shortly after, who is now with me. But Spawny here in the top right corner of the map, playing for the Team Liquid. That beautiful, beautiful color blue, it is Liquid's Taeja.
And in the bottom left spawn location, the best TBT player in the world, according to Illegal Luck. And many other people.
There's a lot of best in the worlds here today.
There are a lot of best in the world. That's what Dreamhack Winter is, man. Anyway, we have our red Terran player playing for Millennium, ForGG.
ForGG is a master in many ways, but we saw, of course, a small slip last game, which I don't think he'll repeat anytime soon. It's very rare, but only in these high tense situations where you're at a live event, not even an offline tournament, but at a live event where you're outside of your comfort zone, where you're playing on, like, whether it's a booth or just at a stall, one way or another, the stress can get to you. And I think that's a lot of what we saw in that last game. Coming up against a player like Taeja, though, it's not like Millennium 4GG or Taeja are like, I don't know why I say his team name, by the way. It's not like 4GG or Taeja are intimidated by one another. This is the level of player they're used to playing. You know, this isn't some random Masters player who made it to DreamHack Winter. This is like the best of the best in the world.
That'd be kind of sick if a random Masters player like got top 4 at a DreamHack event and got to DreamHack Winter.
Yeah, that'd be like a savant type thing, but
yeah. Well, both guys going for an SCV scout, wanting to know exactly what their opponents are going for, wanting to be as safe as possible. We have another gas first out of Taeja, going for that very, very quick factory. 4GG just opting to be going for not even a Reaper opening, just a Rax, then gas into a later factory by the looks of it. Probably going to be going for a CC earlier than Taeja will be.
Both SCVs getting out alive, so trying to make sure I don't mess up first blood on the very last game of the day.
Interestingly enough, we actually have 4GG spending money on a reactor before the factory. Not super weird, but his factory is going to be significantly later than Taeja's. Taeja going to be throwing down the starport before the factory for 4GG even begins. So we'll see exactly what the choice is. Looks like Banshees once again. Second gas is already done, so I would assume Cloak Banshees, Rifkin, are on the menu.
Yeah, for Taeja, 4GG, however, sticking with the one gas for the time being. Again, it's not hard to defend against Banshees. It's a question of how much you let them slip. So, I mean, when your opponent goes Banshees, if you know it's coming, you can shut it down, lose maybe 1 or 2 units, right? Not a big deal. If you, for whatever reason, happen to be looking away for a second, if your Marines are slightly out of position and you lose more than 3 or 4 SCVs, suddenly you're like, wow, I should have had that. And that sort of like, oh my god moment can really stick with you for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it absolutely can. Meanwhile, it is going to be Cloak out of Taeja, so Cloak Banshees.
And this is a really fast Cloak Banshee, guys. Like,
it is.
This isn't, there was no Reaper. You got the second gas super early just so he could do specifically this. Now, of course, with the way the timing of the Banshee works, of course, it will be across the map. Before Cloak is finished, he has to be careful with it. The last thing you want to do is rush out Cloak Banshees like this and lose your Banshee just as Cloak finishes.
That would suck. But, I mean, Taeja's a little bit too good for that. I don't really think he's going to be making that kind of a miscontrol. Meanwhile, though, the starport for 4GG is going to be late enough that he may actually get the Banshee over there before there's really that much in the way of defense. Looks like 4GG is going to be playing mech. He's floating out that Rax again, and I like this. He won with mech. He lost with Biotank. Go back to mech.
My chat's not working, by the way, guys, but I hope we had some first bloods go off with them. Of course, that awesome icon is
Unhinged did it.
Well, that icon was made by Rain, someone who stopped by the chat earlier today, so I just want to thank him for it again. But alright, here comes that first Banshee. Cloak is about 15 in-game seconds for finishing. We'll see if he even needs it, though. With so many Banshees, or sorry, Hellings being invested early, there are Marines here, but even without Cloak, with some perfect micro, he can dance around those. It's all about that Viking coming out.
It is. Cloak is done, though. The Viking's going to be coming out, but there's not going to be any mobile detection for a while. There's no engineering bay. A scan goes down. That's not going to be enough.
Oh, I love the cloak trick. Second scan from the orbital that just finished. Well
that
played.
Means that there's not going to be a scan. He's going to have to save scans for the next Banshee as well. The Raven may be out by the time it gets there, but not the... I don't think it'll be out quite yet. The Raven does take a minute to build. Meanwhile, workers are even. Taeja's finishing up his CC. It's on the low ground already, so he has that as a minor advantage there, whereas his opponent doesn't have his CC down on the low ground yet. It is complete.
A minor advantage. Cause SCVs? Mine minerals?
Oh.
Alright, in all seriousness though, the Banshee is going to be coming to the main one more time. The Raven is out though, so no need for scans this time. And unfortunately, Taeja's not going to get much done. If he had left this at home, actually, he would have shut out these Hellions outright. But looks like with a tank, he will hold this.
Well, Hellions are held back for now. Taeja down by about 12 supply already, though. Banshee coming on into the main does cloak and is warded off very, very quickly. So he's going to be running on home now. Meanwhile, Taeja is up by 1 SCV, so economically very, very even at the moment. And is Taeja going to play bio? That is my big question right now. He's got 1 tank already. He's still got the tank, the factory on the tech lab. Won't know for sure until he throws down a 4th production structure.
Well, gets in here with some SCV kills pretty quick. Of course, Banshee almost out of energy. You might not even need to worry about getting scanned. Kills some Marines on the way out too. Actually, that's kind of huge, but still free kills and gets out unscathed. Not a single health point lost. However, ForGG has a hell of a lot of Hellions parked outside of Taeja's base. Between this bunker and the siege tank, I don't know they can necessarily run in, but if you went like balls to the wall straight to the mineral line, he would certainly secure some kills.
Yeah, it's not worth it if he loses everything though. He's got to be careful. Yeah. Meanwhile, ForGG adding on the extra factories, Taeja adding on the extra Raxes. So it's going to be bio versus mech. +1 already started here for Taeja, who does have a bit of a supply lead now. And here comes the Banshee, going to be able to pick away, taking down 2 of those Hellions already. Very, very nicely done. That Banshee is a much better pilot than the previous Banshee. This one getting 8 kills without even getting a scratch. It's like Luke Skywalker piloting right there.
Well handled, I gotta say, because again, it's really important for that late game. If your opponent's playing mech, they're not going to have a lot of anti-air. That 1 Banshee can cut out siege lanes, or siege tanks and siege lines, no problem. My mouth is failing me here on hour 12 of the cast or whatever, but anyways, I love that ForGG has been very aggressive and he's just kind of keeping his presence on the other side of the field. But unfortunately for him, if he keeps this over here for too long, and let's say Taeja, had gone for a drop or something, what would he have at home to deal with it?
Meanwhile, we actually have this 1 Widowmine going to be picked off there. Scan going down, 25 gas, not the biggest investment there. Does get rid of some of the map control that ForGG has on this side of the map though. ForGG going to be getting a little bit aggressive once again to these Hellions. He's got 8 of them moving around. He's been opting for a very, very late Blue Flame Hellion upgrade both games. He's getting in now, though. A little earlier than we did see in game number 1. This is not going to be finishing for the next minute, 2.5 minutes, though, or 2 minutes. Yeah, 2 minutes.
I think the Blue Flame delayed those kind of nice. I mean, you're not pushing into your opponent's lines anytime soon.
Yeah.
There's no necessity to have it. If your opponent was pushing, then maybe it'd be a little better too. But as we see, Taeja just kind of bulking up. He wants to get the forces. He needs to get medevacs out. He needs to get tanks out.
Well, we only have 1 tank out still. He's going pure bio. He's not going Marine tank this time around. So this 1 tank is going to help a lot, but that's so many Hellions. Really, really nice spread on the Marauders up front, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Marauders don't take much damage from the Hellions at all.
Yeah, and the only time they do is when you clump them up, because again, you might not do bonus versus armored, but when you got that much splash damage, it's definitely bonus damage. But by spreading them out, Taeja's actually limiting, first off, the actual initial damage, but also denying any splash damage.
I want to point out that Taeja has 12 Vikings as well.
They've been hiding. That's what I love most about this. They've been hiding. He doesn't want...
I'm wondering what he's planning on doing with this.
I think he just wants to let ForGG think that there's no air for him to tussle with, and if he doesn't show them, then ForGG doesn't build his own anti-air, and we see him not investing in Vikings at all. Only 3 available, and that's what I kind of love about the sneaky sneak move.
Oh, he's actually been producing a couple more Banshees as well. He's got 2 on the map right now, and he's got medevacs queued up now, so he's going to start with very, very late medevac production. But okay, we've got both players getting active on the map, and here we see the Air Armada has joined up.
ForGG knows.
Turning around.
Making Thors immediately. He recognizes he can't take the air fight in this. Focuses on the Banshee too. A great move, but okay, the stealth detect The scan picks it up. Marauders and Marines going down to the Hellbats, though. Oh, the Vikings do land in that massive count of Vikings do come into major play here. A lot of damage being dished out. A new Viking, or sorry, a new Banshee joining the field, and he will chase this down. In fact, there's no anti-air left, period. There's Penguin, there's none. There's not even a Widow Mine.
Oh my god, a lot of this
Is
extra
Taeja gonna win with this push?
He might. There's just nothing really to
The
deal with this.
Sneaky Viking! This will be the name of the build, the Sneaky Viking.
Crouching Taeja, hidden Viking.
Crouching Taeja, landing Viking.
It's a joke. Dragon.
I know, but he landed the Vikings, so... Anyways,
Okay.
bad
There's a
humor
Thor.
aside. Yeah, the Thors,
Right.
again, they're good for damage, but they don't attack fast, so just these sheer numbers coming out of Taeja will take these down. He's trying to spam and repair them with these SCVs. A great move out of ForGG, but it's just not going to be enough. There's too much for him to contend with. He's got this third base. Taeja can go knock that out. Taeja will go knock that out, rather than pushing up an impossible choke.
The second orbital was already killed, not lifted to the main, killed.
Killed.
This one's gonna die as well. There's so many Vikings here. GG's
Taeja does it.
Taeja 4-0s his group, takes the top spot and wins the last match of the day on our stream, guys.
Ugh.
Wow, well done.
I told you guys, that was why I wanted that series more than anything else. I mean, after game one, I was a little worried. I was like, wow, ForGG is going to wipe the floor with Taeja, right?
Yeah.
But, oh well, guys, it was a phenomenal broadcast. It was a lot of fun today. And we had a lot of guests come on and do some analysis with us. So big shout outs to like Sasquatch, Kane, Wilco, of course, Penguin throwing some 2 cents as well. Zeph for joining us at the beginning of the broadcast, but I had to go. And of course, Penguin for casting with me to the end. What we're going to do, guys, is do one last set of ads here as we do our move towards the end. We're going to do some subscriber shout-outs. We'll do our own advertisements. And I will get to cutting these VODs up ASAP. So if you missed any of the matches we cast, you'll be able to catch them on YouTube hopefully by tomorrow if I'm quick enough about it. But thanks for tuning in. Stick with these ads for a second, and we'll get to subscriber shout-outs so Penguin and I can finally sleep. So have a great day if you're taking off. If you're not watching the ads, thank you. Hit the follow button on your way out. Otherwise, have a great day.